in time where you can't quite process what you're hearing?
Okay, two things. But before I talk about those two things, I wanted to say I'm almost always on your lives. And I've been following you. So yeah. So that I just wanted to say that. So the gateway tapes, they are actually exercises for you to go within. And unfortunately, the way that people bring up CIA documents and silly things like that, they were interested in it. I think you know that by now. They were just interested in it, but Bob Monroe had been doing all this for a very long time, and he started to explore his experiences. And this is what people should be working on right now. And I'm gonna talk about that in a second. But that is what that is about. People try and do all these weird, mysteriously things about it, and they're like, okay, it's this, but it is special, but it is a tool to help you go within, because a lot of the time people don't realize that actually healing and setting boundaries, learning about them, like they're the things they don't like, and reprogramming all the things, they might not be able to do that yet. And this is a very great opportunity for people to get, not only learn how to start visualizing things, exploring the way that you see things in your mind's eye, all of that stuff, and it gets you excited. And it's funny because it will happen if you keep up those tapes, because when you do any process like that, it doesn't matter what you do. There's a couple of monks I know that said that it's kind of like a shortcut to getting to that point. And so the shortcut is not a true shortcut. The shortcut is that you get so excited about what you see that when you start going into the dark stuff and freaking out, you're going to actually be excited because you know that it's worth it. Whereas if you just start just healing, that takes like a lot of courage to just randomly start healing and knowing how to do that and looking for, ways to do that and stuff like that. It takes a lot of work because we're not taught that in society. So it's a good place to be, but keep in mind that will start happening. You will get more frustrated. You will get more, like, I've seen it. You're getting more and more frustrated because of that. Okay, so anyway, that's that. And you're going to find that out anyway. And number two, I've been trying, every time you are on the live, I've tried to get on, but I know that you have your people and stuff. But I wanted to tell you that basically these things that we see, this is something you can find out too. You don't need to hear other people. You don't need to see all these things. One of the distractions the distraction is us not going within, us not asking how we think about these things, how we feel about them, how they've impacted our life. We just talk about what we observe only. And this is what needs to change. So if all of us start talking about that and going deeper, we're all going to get more information. I've got information because I've been doing this forever. Like, I have a lot of information, but I can't be saying it because people would have to understand those things too, because I have said it on my page, but no one sees it. They see the things that I specialize in, but I specialize in this too, but in the sense of how I help people heal and go within and empower them and stuff like that. Because we're living in a society, in every society around the world, every society basically is unempowered. We think that we put so much value in what, people say, in what the government says. Is this real? Is this not? And I'm going to give you some things that I usually say. And I say that, obviously there's way more to this, but I say that there's three realities to start with. One is your internal reality. Two is your internal external reality. And three is the external reality. So everything that you do within, like the more you go deeper, you're going to see things in people and in, the media, and also the desired outcome, not desired outcome, but the external reality. You're going to see things as deeply as you know yourself. And you're going to participate energetically the more you go deeper within yourself, the more you know deep really who you are, not just as a person and what you've created since you were born, the more you're going to overflow and spill into the internal external realities, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Then those internal external realities will spill into the external reality, and we all create that together. So all of the things that people talk about where they say that you create your reality and all that stuff, kind of. We're all doing it together. But your feelings and who you are and what you know and the way you see things, that is yours. You create that. So the external things are different. Okay, so now the internal external reality. The internal external reality are all things like family, the media, governments, anything that will take your attention and you spend your time on, even a job, their groups. And so what has happened is these energies, like meaning human energies, have kind of like, you can think of it like someone saving their seat. So every time like a family member is born, they teach them how to take up space in the internal external realities and to make big things and take people's attention and time and money and everything, right? And so if you work on yourself and you're obsessed with, like, for example, Elon Musk or something, and you're obsessed with him, you're going to, the time and energy and money you spend in that, not money, but you know what I mean? Even if you heal yourself and you're working on yourself, you might see things deeper or whatever, it doesn't matter. You're giving that energy to it. Now, that is the creepy stuff that's going on. Now, if you want to combat that, I've made some videos about this. This is like one of the things I'm trying to help people with because it's super important. Because they go, okay, well, should we ignore it? No. What you do is you have a look at what you're paying attention to. And if you can, when you pick something, let's say you picked, like, I don't know, the politics or something that's going on in politics, concentrate on how it's impacting your life and what you truly think about it, not what's happening. Don't narrate it, because that's what we do. We add to the story. When we do this, we build warriors of our shadows and we become friends with our shadows, and they keep us safe from paying attention to that stuff. So next time you want to go and look at that thing that actually makes you triggered, your inner child or whoever was triggered will be like, no, remember, we don't like this. And they've got your back. And so you stop like paying attention and spilling your energy into that. Okay, that's another thing. I have videos about it. If you want to know more, I can go on a live and talk with you. I love collaborating, so let me know. Then the external reality, that's completely external, that is from the overflow of all of those processes. So when you do that, when we all get to that point, the energies that we're seeing now, which is more complicated, there's more to talk about, but they've always been there. Like when we see what we see as spaceships, that's as deeply as we know ourselves, we're going to see them as spaceships, or we're going to see them as orbs, or we're going to see them as something else. I see all of them. Like I see, there's more things also. So not with my naked eye, in my mind's eye. Because I've said it that way. I don't want to know those things. I want to be on the same track as everybody. There's some things I've seen and then I'm like, no, I want to be on the same track because it's very lonely. There's a lot of stuff that that's in my life already that is making me lonely because I know all these things. It's one of my superpower thing or whatever. And it's lonely because I know how to help someone, but I can't help them unless they want to be helped. So anyway, like I haven't done a video reply to you until this because it was like, you were at the point of asking those questions, for example. But anyway, so those energies, I nicknamed them freelance aliens because they're literally like freelancers. They come and go, and some of them come and go through the Galactic Federation, which is like a temp agency, kind of, if you're going to humanize it, or the anchors of the human. So like, let's say people talk about starseeds or whatever. That is one of many things that we are. So they will come and go through that energy, if that makes sense. And they're coders. And they're more complicated than that. There's other things too. There's not just this. But the things that we're worried about in the sky, not worried about, but excited about and stuff, it's that. There's also some things going on of why they're doing this, and it's complicated. But anyway, also there's nature. Nature is the way that everything's been set up, even in this dimension. And nature also has their own little things too. So it's not just those freelance aliens. I call them freelance aliens because alien means like not here, and they come and go, and come and go through portals. So anyway, if you want, we could talk more about this, and I hope that helped. And I love how you talk about all the stuff. Keep going, and I know you know you're onto something, and you are. So keep going.